as the government of Grenada moves to bring forward a bill which will give legislative powers to a land use policy for Grenada, the question of what possible measures to prosecute individuals and entities who have misused or damaged lands and mangroves was put forward to the Minister. Minister for Agriculture Peter David had this response when pressed by the media.
And I'm sure there are penalties with respect to physical planning. The physical planning law does provide for penalties for persons who violate physical planning law. So yes, there are consequences for persons who violate, and we hope to add more consequences as we go forward to try to manage properly and manage better our land. But there are consequences now, and there will be consequences in the future.
According to the minister, there are only 78 to 80,000 acres of land available in Grenada to be used for agriculture, housing, recreation, forestry, and commercial activities. Noting the huge demand for land and its limitations, Minister David, who is also responsible for lands, forestry, and labor, says the land use policy is finally nearing completion.
That has been something that has been called for years, a land use policy. Because, much of our agricultural land was transferred to housing. And while we understand the need for housing, we must also understand there's a need to feed our population. There's a need to reduce our food import bill. And the only way to do that is to properly plan the use of our land, to ensure that there's enough land to grow food for our people and enough land to ensure that housing is available for our people, that commercial activities take place, that manufacturing take place.
Chief Agricultural Officer Trevor Thompson, who was a focal person in drafting the policy, says legislation is being prepared to support the mandates under the land use policy.
Once it's going to have an impact on other people, then you'll have to institute certain management regimes that will either determine if that land could be used for that purpose or not. And then the whole issue of land that will be allocated for special purposes, protected areas, recreation areas, for forest reserve, to preserve drinking water, etc. All of those has to be taken into consideration. And of course the overarching issue of land for present and future generations.
Thompson adds that a legal expert has been contracted to assist with the legislation that will accompany the policy, noting the challenges faced by lawyers surrounding land issues and disputes. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.